I don't know him more. If he matches me speed for speed, I can imagine that I'll be favouring that.
Do you expect to knock Dillian Whyte out?
If I box by the game plan, I should do, yes.
Quick?
Fairly quick.
Tyson Fury has finally weighed in with his prediction for the upcoming heavyweight showdown between Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte, and his thoughts have set the boxing world on fire.
I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours, and that's why you got to watch it and find out.
Fury, who's never shy about giving his opinion, has been vocal in his belief that Itauma, just 20 years old, could be the future of the division. Now with a clash against Whyte on the horizon, Fury is looking at the fight with a mixture of respect and intrigue, especially considering Whyte's vast experience and punching power.
That's a good fight, actually, especially for Moses. I think it's a very good time to fight Dillian. He's had a couple of years out the ring. But, you know, make no mistakes, Dillian Whyte is a massive puncher to head and body. I know he's taking it very serious. I'm speaking to Ty Mitchell, who's in training camp with him. And looking forward to the fight. You know, it's a big step up for Moses because he hasn't really fought anybody on Dillian's level. The old Dillian, it was a couple of years ago. And it's going to be interesting to see how much that Dillian Whyte has left. And could this be potential? I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours, and that's why you got to watch it and find out. But one thing I will say about Moses is he's a very good fighter, good little boxer, good puncher, and a lovely kid as well. It's like a sponge. You tell him something, he absorbs it and he listens, and that's the great thing about the young kids who's coming up. And he's only 20 years old. I told him a few years ago, forget about breaking records, take your time, you've only got one career, and just enjoy it, because I remember when I was 19, 20, and now 36 has gone like that, very quick.
At only 20, Itauma has made waves in the heavyweight scene. He's knocked out 10 of his 12 opponents, and while some of his earlier opponents were less seasoned, his victories over fighters like Dempsey McKean and Marius Wack proved he's no ordinary prospect. He stopped them both inside 3 rounds, which is a testament to his ability to finish fights quickly. But stepping into the ring with someone like Whyte, who has faced world-class fighters for years, will undoubtedly be his biggest test yet.
Moses, in order for Moses to grow, he's only had 12 fights, Moses, you get me? So in order for Moses to grow, he needs mentality of the Dillian Whytes in front of him. The mentality, it's all about mentality.
Being what? What do you mean by that?
Well, when Moses throws and connects, the mentality from Dillian is going to be different to what Moses had felt before, unless he switches him off.
Right.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Itauma is viewed as a rising star, and his camp believes this is the right time to step up. Whyte, despite his tough reputation, has been somewhat out of the spotlight in recent years, with only a handful of bouts since the end of 2022. He hasn't fought regularly, and at 37 years old, there's some speculation about how much he has left in the tank. But don't count him out just yet. Whyte is known for his brutal knockout power, and he's not taking this fight lightly. His camp in particular has emphasized that he's working hard in training, with reports from inside his camp confirming he's fully committed to making this fight count.
If Moses is as good as what we think he is, he gets the job done on the 16th of August.
I know Moses, I've seen a lot of him, and yeah, he's a knockout specialist as well, isn't he? So.
He is, mate. So yeah, people that have not heard his name, you will be hearing his name a lot more. He's 20 years of age. Really? You can't believe it. It's like you know, Mike Tyson had that thing about him way back when, and you're saying, is he too young? You know, don't push him too soon. But you go, sometimes they're that good, you have to let them go. Yeah. And I think this is like a coming of age fight for Moses in many ways. Like I say, Frank's taken that gamble to say, look, putting him in, Dillian's a world-class, dangerous heavyweight, but maybe just past his best, and that's that calculate. Yeah. The excitement of the fight is, we don't really know, like, just how good or what Dillian's got left, but we know how good Moses is. All we're going to find out on the 16th. Can't wait.
For Itauma, it's an opportunity to make a massive statement. This is a man who's shown glimpses of greatness, but facing a fighter like Whyte could prove whether he's truly ready to claim a spot at the top of the heavyweight division. The fight presents a real challenge. Whyte is tough, durable, and a dangerous puncher, which makes this a fascinating test of Itauma's abilities. Fury himself acknowledged that Whyte is no slouch, even though he hasn't been as active recently. He's a dangerous opponent who has not knocked out some of the best in the business. But Fury also made it clear that Itauma has a big future ahead of him, praising his ability to absorb information and grow quickly.
I ain't frustrated media, it's frustrated people talking shit, and then when they come and see him in shape and different mindset, then they start changing their minds and opinion. I'm like, yo, I have the same energy, bro. I have the same energy. When I'm 118, 120 kilos, I have the same energy, because now I'm light and I look like I'm in shape. Then now everybody's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yo, come on, man. You know, I don't need to be 100% to win some fights, because I'm a fighter. I know what to fight. He's had more amateur fights than me and all of this other shit. You know, he's doing what he's meant to know. And one thing is, he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance of inexperience. You know, I didn't say it right, but I'm tired. Yeah, ignorance of youth or whatever the f it is. Yeah, I'm not a chump, bro. You know, I'm not a chump. You know, obviously people writing me up, but I'm not a chump. I'm not a chump. So let's go up on Saturday.
Dillian, one word. What can we expect on Saturday night?
What I always bring, man. I always bring that. With me, there's always that unpredictability in the ring. You know what I mean?
The fight has drawn significant attention because of Itauma's potential. The youngster is being groomed to fight at the highest levels of boxing, and this clash with Whyte, for all its difficulties, could provide a major leap in his career. However, there's no denying it's a risky move. Whyte is still a formidable fighter, despite his more recent struggles. The question remains whether Itauma, at just 20, has the experience and skills to handle someone as seasoned and dangerous as Whyte.
On Saturday, how does this fight play out, Moses?
I mean, Moses' Itauma victory.
By any means.
I mean, if I stick to the game plan, that should be enough. Like you said, if I get pulled into a dogfight, Dillian Whyte will win. He might do, and that means I'm not boxing to my game plan.
As much as the boxing world is eager to see what Itauma is capable of, they're also curious about how much Whyte has left. The older fighter's career has been a roller coaster of highs and lows, with some memorable wins, but also a few significant setbacks. His most recent defeat to Fury in 2022 left fans questioning where he goes from here. The battle with Itauma could serve as a make-or-break moment for Whyte. If he wins, it could set him up for one last shot at a world title, but if he loses, it may mark the end of his time at the top level.
Dillian, you've been here before, you've seen it, done it. How does it play out for you?
Wait till Saturday night and see, man. You know, you guys are the expert. I seen your prediction how it plays out. I said
if this turns into a dogfight.
No, I seen your prediction.
This goes early or it goes into a dogfight.
I seen your prediction before that. That's something you're saying now, but I subscribe to your videos, bro.
I said if it turns into a dogfight, this could turn into a dogfight.
It's all good, bro. You're still my man.
No. I said
you remember when you got the DAZN job? Who was one of the first people to congratulate you? You're still my man. It's all good. But it's boxing, you know. Boxing, people's memory is short. And you're the man in the moment in boxing. That's all it is, bro. It's a number and a name in the moment. You know, you disappear for a little bit and everybody forget about you, everybody writes you off. You have a loss, everybody writes you off. That's it.
Dillian Whyte's former rival, Derek Chisora, has already predicted a difficult night for the veteran, suggesting that Itauma could cause serious damage. Chisora, who has been in the ring with Whyte on multiple occasions, knows what he's capable of, and yet he believes Itauma could be a step too far for Whyte.
There's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at the end of that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think I don't think Dillian gets beyond 4 or 5 rounds.
You're crazy. Yeah. There's no light at that tunnel. Not kidding. No, you mad. No way. Even Lawrence Okoli said Moses is bad.
I don't think they put him in against Dillian Whyte if they think there's real jeopardy for them. I think they might get a few rounds and get asked a few more questions than possibly they've been asked by Marius Wack and Dempsey McKean. But I don't think they think much more than that. And I'm surprised at Dillian taking the fight.
I think just the young gun, man. Look, he's on a roll. Look, Dillian Whyte in his day was good. Not saying that he's not good, but Dillian Whyte was Dillian Whyte, you know what I'm saying? But
is Dillian still capable of causing an upset, what people would see as an upset against Moses?
I mean, look, Moses is super sharp, man. I don't see an upset coming, you know, I'll be real with you. He's super sharp.
I think he's a very neat, tidy boxer. Moses clearly punches hard. Fastest hands in the heavyweight division, I think. I think it could be an early night.
Mark Tibbs has also weighed in on the fight. While Tibbs shares a history with Whyte, he's predicting that Itauma will be too much for the veteran to handle. Tibbs believes that while Whyte has always been tough and durable, Itauma's talent and potential will ultimately prove to be the deciding factors in the fight.
His job's to not get hit.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know that we're all crying out, oh, I want to see what he looks like.
But he's going to get hit at
wax
some
him.
point, isn't he?
Yeah, when he comes up against, you know.
He's going to get hit at some point, and I got a little fight myself, Giorgio Visioli. No one's hit him. O'Hara Davis caught him with a lovely backhand at the beginning. It was nice for me as his coach to see how he reacted. Now I'm sure Ben Davison's, seen him. He can't dodge every shot in it, So he's going to get hit from time to time. So that's how you build a Moses Itauma and a Giorgio Visioli. They've got to be built in the gym.
Yeah.
In the gym.
You listen, he's just said it. Mark knows his onions, doesn't he? You know
Of
what I
course
mean?
he does.
He will, at this moment in time, he will 100% have had harder spars than he has had fight.
Dave Allen, a heavyweight who has fought Whyte before, also sees Itauma winning. Allen acknowledges that Whyte still has the power to cause damage, but believes that Itauma's style and skill set will make him too difficult for Whyte to overcome.
My early prediction isn't a Itauma stoppage. I don't think it happens too early though. I don't think it happens in 1 or 2. I think it'd probably be 6, 7, 8. I think Dillian Whyte will come to survive. I think early on he'll get behind the jab, he'll move. And Itauma, I think he's really clever actually. I watch him and you wouldn't believe he was 20. And he never boxed as a senior either. He never boxed as a senior amateur. He never, I wouldn't have thought he boxed like an egg guard in that case. So, but he's very clever. He does some very clever things beyond his experience. Because he's not the most experienced either, really. Yes, I think Dillian will be looking to frustrate him. The only holes I've seen in Itauma was when he boxed Espindola and Dobvichenko. He didn't get frustrated when he didn't have the success he wanted. When Dobvichenko and Espindola made him miss and weren't giving enough. I expect Dillian Whyte to do that, really. That's what I think he will do. And I don't think Itauma's going to punch straight through Dillian Whyte. I'd be very surprised. Very, very surprised. I think as time goes on, I think he'll chip away at him and wear him down. And Dillian will have to have a go eventually, and that's when Itauma will land something.
Carl Frampton offered his own take on the fight. Frampton, who's known for his sharp boxing analysis, believes that Itauma's speed and power will be the difference maker. He's impressed with Itauma's ability to work inside the ring, and his prediction is that the young fighter will likely finish the fight quickly. Frampton believes that Itauma's hand speed is among the fastest in the heavyweight division, and this, combined with his punching power, will make him a very dangerous opponent for Whyte.
I think it's good night, Mr. Whyte.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think that the matchmaking's great for him?
Not for Dillian, I don't know. I think it's great for Moses because ultimately he gets a decent name like Dillian Whyte on his resume, which isn't the Dillian Whyte that was fighting 2 or 3 years ago. If he blasts him out, which I think he will, then Moses, the mythology around Moses just gets bigger and wider and more bankable.
There'll be a bit of hype around the fight as well, which will raise Moses' profile too.
Yeah. Another question for you then. So if you say it's not good matchmaking for Dillian Whyte, where would you put Dillian Whyte then? That's what I'm saying. Like, what opportunity is going to come from?
Well, the last time I opened
him?
my mouth about Whyte, I put him in with Fabio Wardley and got smacked around everybody for being a bit of a tit. So I'm not even going to answer that question. Thanks very much.
Brilliant.
How do you see it? In the event that this fight is made, which we all think it will be, I do think it will be Moses Itauma. Yeah. I do think that he will go through Dillian, and I think he'll go through him compellingly. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with you.
You think the same?
I just think that timing is key in boxing. Dillian Whyte's been a great ambassador for the sport. I don't think he's the fighter he once was, and I think that Moses Itauma is something special, and I think he wins and wins quite comfortably.
Yeah, I agree with you, Spencer, and I think it could be early as well. I think he's a very neat, tidy boxer. Moses clearly punches hard, fastest hands in the heavyweight division, I think. I think it could be an early night.
Shane McGuigan also weighed in. McGuigan believes that Itauma is a sensational talent and that Whyte is likely at the end of his career. McGuigan acknowledges Whyte's tenacity, but ultimately sees Itauma as the stronger fighter in this matchup. He credits the matchmaking as being astute, but he still believes that Itauma will emerge victorious.
You know, it's heavyweight boxing, you know, you can never write anybody off. Dillian's got a phenomenal left hook, but I think the likelihood of that is very, 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 very slim. I think Moses Itauma is a sensational talent. I've been saying it since he was 15 years of age, and I think, you know, he has a great mindset for a young fighter. I think Adam's the same. He's got a very good mindset. They're very calm and they take things in their stride, and they're perfectionists. They're working on their craft constantly. I think they don't believe that they're the finished article yet, and that's the most important thing. You have to constantly keep striving for 1% improvements. But Dillian is, you know, is at the end of his career, and he's always had vulnerabilities there, but he's always had that tenacity to pull something out of the bag and deliver a fantastic shot like he's done numerous times before. So you can never write him off, I just think.
Tony Bellew didn't mince words when predicting the outcome. He believes that Whyte's time at the top is over and that Itauma will take him down. Bellew's blunt prediction is that Whyte is being paid to take a beating, and he expects Itauma to deliver a knockout victory.
In my opinion, is at the end. And I just think he's agreed a fantastic payday for himself. You know, it's been widely touted what he's getting. It's been put out here, there, and everywhere, and he's being paid a king's ransom to go in there and be dealt with. I think that's quite as simple as it is.
You say fair play to him as well, because nobody wants to fight Itauma. Anyone who's above Itauma in the rankings and whatnot, they do not want to fight.
Yes,
Itauma.
I think they do for the right amount of money and what's on the line. I think.
Really?
I
Chisora turned down $2 million.
Because he knows it's his last ever fight. He probably doesn't want to go.
That's my point, isn't it?
Yeah, but...
No, but I mean, it's a fight that you don't think he can...
If Del gets the right fight, he gets more than $2 million. If Del goes to Africa, he gets far more than $2 million.
Frank Warren has also weighed in on the fight, acknowledging that it will be a tough challenge for the young fighter, but also praising his potential. Warren sees Itauma's ability to hurt Whyte, but he also wants to see how the young fighter reacts in a 12-round contest. He believes that Itauma has the potential to win, but he's eager to see how he handles adversity and if he can box his way through a longer fight.
Moses is at a stage now where where I feel that he, every fight he's had, we're increasing the quality of the opposition, and he's ready for the next big step up, and it has to be against a recognisable name.
So is this, let me make it a supposition that this is potentially going to happen, and you don't have to comment on it, but is it the kind of fight that you want to see Moses in now?
Yes. Yeah.
And if it were Dillian, what does it say about Dillian? Is it the sort of fight that he would really fancy?
Well, if the fight took place, then obviously he would fancy it.
For Itauma, this fight is the first real test of his career, and a victory over Whyte would put him on the fast track to a world title shot. His team is already looking beyond Whyte, with potential matchups against the likes of Otto Wallin, Filip Hrgovic, and Jile Jiang all being considered. But before looking too far ahead, Itauma has to prove himself against Whyte, and if he can get past the veteran, it's clear that he'll be on the path to bigger and better things in the heavyweight division. As the fight approaches, it's clear that the boxing world is split on the outcome. Whyte's experience and power make him a formidable opponent, but Itauma's potential and youthful hunger have captured the imagination of fans and experts alike. With Fury predicting a serious challenge ahead for both men, it's sure to be an exciting fight that could shape the future of the heavyweight division. The question now is, can Itauma live up to the hype, or will Whyte pull off one last major victory before calling it a career? The boxing world is eagerly waiting to find out.